What's up YouTube? How are you doing today? Chana D, your Techno Dad here, and in today's video I'm going to be making an update about the Xbox One X as a 4K Blu-ray player. And we're going to get into it right after the jump. Alright ladies and gentlemen, on Monday I uploaded a video about the pros and cons of using the Xbox One X or S as a 4K Blu-ray player. Now there was quite some controversy about the section I had about the colors being decoded properly. And a lot of people want to say, oh, the color is fixed. So there you go. Now a bunch of people said I should update the video and I'm spewing out misleading information. So here it is, the color's fixed. But guess what? There are a few things that I forgot to mention. And here's another update, just so you guys know. Tuesday, there was a report from Flat Panels HD that CNET was incorrect, and the Dolby Vision update for the X and the S will only be for streaming and not for the 4K Blu-ray player. So that was totally wrong. So there you go. Now there's some smaller channel dude trolling and commenting and saying all I do is spew out misinformation. And that can be further from the truth. And I actually went to his channel to go check it out, and he calls himself The Truth. I'm not even going to say his name because then I'd be giving him like more views, and screw that. So he calls himself The Truth. He has the truth about 4K. Great dude. You have the truth about your one Xbox, your one TV, and your one AV receiver. If you notice here, I've got two Xbox One S's. So let's get into one of the biggest things and the biggest issues I have with these two machines. Guess what? Both of these will not play the 4K UHD disc of Oblivion. Oblivion, Tom Cruise movie, great movie, one of the best 4K transfers ever, and that was one of the earlier movies that came out. I bought it, tried it on both of these players, it wouldn't work. Called Microsoft, tech support, you know what they told me? So they said I should contact Universal and make the disc compatible with the Xbox One S. Are you kidding me? That's your answer? Ridiculous. So what did I do? I went ahead and spent actually $600 on this, the Oppo UDP-203, $549 back when I bought it, and this was back in 2016. 2016, right? Because you've had experience with one Xbox for half a year, maybe. So 2016, I bought this before it had Dolby Vision, and it, with tax and shipping, came out to $600. And guess what? Guess what? No issues whatsoever, no audio issues, no video issues. This thing's built like a tank. And I'm gonna have it for like 5 to 10 years. So there you go. Bottom line is, and I'll say this a few times, the more you spend on a 4K Blu-ray player, the better your experience is gonna be. I know some of them were like, well, yo, why are you hating on the Xbox? You know, I'm not hating. Ew. You see these? These are 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 Xbox One X's. And if you notice here, this one's got some gaffer tape on it. Not sure if you can see it. But I put that piece of tape on there. You know why? Because this one is loud AF. Meaning, I cannot put it in the master bedroom. Because when I'm watching a movie or playing Call of Duty or whatever it is I'm playing at 2, 3 in the morning, it's going to wake my wife up. Because it has done so in the past. And that's a Pandora's box I do not want to open. So, there you have another issue. Do I get loud spinning disc from the Oppo? No. Do I get loud spinning disc from the LG UP970? Yes. So, for all of those who say, hey, my Xbox works just fine. It's awesome. It's the best player. It's got great value. Yes, it's awesome for 4K gaming. It's pretty good on the streaming as far as, you know, having a whole bunch of streaming apps. And I say pretty good. You know why? Because these two Xbox One S's and these 3 Xbox One X's. You know the problem with all of them? When I go into Netflix, guess what? It turns on HDR automatically, and sometimes on some content, not everything, not something that you may have watched, but not everything, but sometimes it blows out colors on content that doesn't have HDR because it's forcing HDR. Now, I know a lot of you have experienced that and a lot of you haven't, so that's another issue. Look, bottom line is, it does have great value, but as a 4K player, it doesn't stack up. In fact, this Sony UBP X700 doesn't stack up either. And this LG UBK90 doesn't stack up either. This one I thought was going to be great at a budget price, but guess what? I'm getting intermittent audio video sync issues going through both the Sony AVR, going through a Denon AVR, and guess what? Plug directly into the TV, it's intermittent. Intermittent, whatever, it happens once in a while. But guess what? It still happens, and it happens mostly on new Dolby Vision discs. HDR10 discs I've popped in there don't have that issue, but it has that issue. So buyer beware. And this X700 by Sony was supposed to be a good budget player. Dolby Vision, yeah, sort of, kind of. You have to turn off 3D for it. However, if you do have a Sony TV that supports Dolby Vision through an HDMI in port, this is your only option. So, you know, it's okay, but it's frozen on me a whole bunch of times. And, you know, who is it? HomeTheaterReview.com reviewed this, gave it 5 stars. How can you do that when there's so many other people that have been having these issues? And like the messed up part, I think AVS Forums just uploaded a video about this, a review video, and he said that he didn't have enough time with the unit because to test Dolby Vision because the Dolby Vision update wasn't out, and that thing's been out for weeks. So I have all these things. I buy all these things. Last year I had the Sony UBP X800. I even had the Samsung M9500. You know what that did? That turned everybody orange in X-Men Apocalypse. And these are all budget players. When you step up to something that costs $500 or $600 like this Oppo UDP 203, or $700 like this Cambridge CX UHD, which is an Oppo UDP 203 clone, guess what? Guess what? You don't have any problems. And you have a machine that's gonna last you a long time. Sure, yeah, it's expensive. But look, I can go through 5 of these things that cost more. You know, when you add it all up, it costs more. So you need to think about it. Your Xbox, your one Xbox, works with your one TV and your one, AV receiver, or maybe 2 TVs. You got 2 4K TVs at home. Fantastic. Well, these 5 Xboxes, and that's not including the one in my son's room because he's probably playing Fortnite right now on it. So I got 6 Xboxes in the house. So 3 Xbox One S's, 3 Xbox One X's. Of course, I only test on my 2. I leave his alone, obviously. But you gotta think about it. All these 5 Xboxes, and if you haven't watched the channel, which most of you are saying, oh, you should update your video, oh, you're spewing misinformation. Most of you are new to the channel. You wouldn't know that I've had the Yamaha V583, the Onkyo TX-NR676, the Sony STR-DN1080, my old Denon X6300H, and this new Denon X4400H. I've had that audio bug on all these Xboxes and on all those receivers. So for the guy that says, oh, my Yamaha is fine, your receiver just needs an update. No, you just got lucky. Do you understand? Are you guys getting the picture? Is it clicking? When someone makes a streaming box or a multi-entertainment box like this Xbox, Microsoft has the tough time of trying to figure out what people are plugging this box into. Meaning, there are so many combinations, like tens of millions or maybe hundreds of millions of different combinations of you plugging in this box into a certain AV receiver or soundbar or TV and getting all of that to work in harmony. Whereas when you get a box like this Cambridge Audio or the Oppo, it does one thing alone, and it does it very well, and it's compatible with pretty much everything. I have never had any disc issues with the Oppo or the Cambridge. Now the Cambridge I've only had for a couple of weeks, but it is a clone of the Oppo. So it's gonna handle every disc exactly like the Oppo, whereas the Xbox One S's weren't playing my Oblivion disc, and I think, what was it? Oh, the Martian disc, it did not play as well. One of them didn't play. I think the Gears of War 4 did not play the Martian disc, but my Battlefield 1 Xbox One S did. So you've got compatibility issues with, there's so many different manufacturers, models that Microsoft has to support. How are they going to do all that? It's not financially or fiscally, plausible to test every single model, every single TV, every single soundbar, every single AV receiver. And a lot of these reviewers on YouTube don't. They get review units like AVS Forums and they have to return them. Really, AVS forums? You couldn't just drop the 250 and buy this thing and actually like test it out? But hey, gotta give it to him. He did actually talk about the downsides of the UBP X700, whereas Home Theater Review gave it 5 stars, which is completely whack because these things have a bunch of problems. Now, it works for some people, yes, and fantastic. You won the lotto. And that's kind of the way things are. Like, I have a huge feeling that if you take LG, Samsung, Sony, and whoever else are making these 4K Blu-ray players and just stop trying to do streaming and just make the box like Oppo or Oppo or whatever you want to call them and have it just do the one thing and do it great, guess what? Us consumers would actually have products that work on whatever setup we have at home. So for all of you guys out there that are new to the channel, then the truth guy that kept commenting, don't worry, I already blocked you from the channel if you're watching, and if anybody else cares. I blocked this guy from the channel because he kept on commenting and commenting over and over saying I'm doing nothing but spewing misinformation. That's actually incorrect. What I'm doing is buying all these things and testing it out on multiple different AV receivers and TVs for you guys at home because nobody else does it. And if you want a truth answer, bottom line is if you're trying to get a 4K Blu-ray player, spend more than $500. And you're like, dude, I don't have that much money. And I'm telling you, yes, you do. Yes, you do. I started my channel 2016 in August. In October of 2016, I got laid off. And you know what I did? I ransacked, went through my whole storage unit, went through my house. I sold about $6,000 worth of stuff so that I had a cushion and figure out what my next move was. And guess what? I bet you have stuff laying around your house, your garage, your storage unit, and you can scrounge up another $300 by selling stuff. Or even better, do what Gary Vaynerchuk says. Go to Craigslist in your hometown and search free. I guarantee you there's free electronics or free whatever that you could go pick it up and sell it for 50 or 100 bucks on eBay or on Craigslist again. People want to get rid of junk. You got junk that you probably need to get rid of. And the bottom line is, if you want a 4K Blu-ray player that's going to give you an awesome experience, you're going to probably have to spend over $500. And if you were already planning on spending $250 or $300, you can either save up a few more months, or you should expect that this is not going to work like this, right? The Sony X700 is not going to work like the Oppo 203. The Xbox One S or the Xbox One X will not work like the Oppo 203 or the Cambridge or probably even the Panasonic, because Panasonic does make some awesome players. I just haven't had the money to buy it and check it out for you guys. So yes, once again, for those of you that are new to the channel and just came from that Xbox video, you guys need to reevaluate your situation. The Xbox One X and S are great gaming consoles. They're great streaming boxes except for a couple of random issues. Are they great for 4K Blu-rays? Not really. It's up to you. Does it matter to you? I'm just tired of these trolls telling me I'm spewing out misinformation. Now, if I sound a little aggro, a little bit louder than normal, it's because I'm pretty pissed I have to make this stupid video for these guys because I had a different video that I needed to shoot for my subscribers. So to my subscribers, I'm sorry. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, that's it for this crap video. Peace.